What is it about the bright lights of fame that burns some stars out too soon? The stage, the screaming fans, the unforgettable music. Behind it all, the pressures of rock and roll can sometimes be too much to bear. Some of the most iconic rock stars, legends in the making, left us before they even reached their 30th birthday. Their lives were meteoric, their talent undeniable, and their ends heartbreakingly tragic. Today, we're uncovering the lives and untimely deaths of rock stars who died under the age of 30. Have you ever heard a song that made you want to jump up and dance even decades after it was recorded? That was the magic of J.P. the Big Bopper, Richardson. But who was this larger-than-life personality, and why did his story end so tragically young? The Big Bopper wasn't just a singer, he was a pioneer of rock and roll and an innovative radio DJ. Born Giles Perry Richardson Jr. in 1930, he earned his iconic nickname from his booming voice and towering presence behind the microphone. His breakout hit, Chantilly Lace, became a cultural phenomenon in 1958, celebrated for its playful, flirtatious style. Richardson's energy and humor were infectious, and his larger-than-life persona made him a beloved figure in the early days of rock. But it was his relentless drive that led to his tragic demise. On February 3, 1959, now known as the day the music died, Richardson joined Buddy Holly and Ritchie Valens on a small private plane, eager to reach their next tour stop. The flight never made it. The plane crashed shortly after takeoff in Clear Lake, Iowa, killing everyone on board. Richardson was only 28. The Big Bopper's loss was felt deeply, not just for his music but for the potential he carried to revolutionize the industry further. His legacy reminds us of the fleeting nature of fame and the heartbreak of what could have been. But Richardson's story isn't the only one of a young talent gone too soon. Next, we'll uncover the hauntingly poetic life and tragic death of a rising folk rock star. His name? Tim Buckley. His story is one you won't want to miss. What does it mean to be a voice ahead of its time? Tim Buckley was a musical chameleon, blending folk, jazz, and rock into something uniquely his own. But his groundbreaking sound and poetic lyrics were only part of his story, a story that ended far too soon. Born in 1947, Tim Buckley was famous for his experimental approach to music. He wasn't just a singer, he was a vocal acrobat, soaring across octaves and pouring raw emotion into every note. Albums like Goodbye and Hello and Happy Sad showcased his ability to push the boundaries of folk and jazz, earning him a dedicated, if niche, following. But Buckley's refusal to conform to mainstream expectations meant his true genius was only recognized by those who listened deeply. Sadly, his brilliance was cut short. On June 29, 1975, Tim Buckley passed away at just 28. After a night out celebrating the end of his latest tour, he consumed a lethal combination of heroin and alcohol. His death was ruled an accidental overdose, leaving fans devastated by the loss of a talent that was only beginning to bloom. Tim Buckley's music continues to inspire artists, his voice a haunting reminder of how fleeting genius can be. But his story isn't the last we'll tell of youthful talent taken too soon. Next, we'll uncover the life of a musician whose incredible bass lines electrified a legendary progressive rock band. His name, John Glascock. Stay tuned. What does it take to leave a lasting impression on rock history? For John Glascock, It was his undeniable talent as a bassist that made him unforgettable, even in a career tragically cut short. Glascock first made waves with the progressive rock band Carmen, known for its innovative fusion of rock and flamenco. But his big break came when he joined Jethro Tull in 1976, becoming a key figure in their dynamic sound. Albums like Songs from the Wood and Heavy Horses showcased his intricate melodic bass lines, earning him recognition as one of the finest bass players of his time. His stage presence and musicianship were magnetic, making him an integral part of the band's success. But beneath the spotlight, Glascock faced mounting health issues. Years of strain and a congenital heart defect took a toll, leading to severe complications. Tragically, on November 17, 1979, Glascock passed away at just 28 due to heart failure. His death left Jethro Tull and their fans grieving the loss of a musician whose potential seemed limitless. Glascock's contributions to rock music remain celebrated, a testament to his skill and artistry. But the next story we'll explore takes a darker turn, involving a drummer whose rebellious spirit defined a genre but ultimately led him down a tumultuous path. Stay tuned for the story of Nigel Preston. What defines the heartbeat of a band? For the Cult during their early years, it was Nigel Preston, a drummer whose fierce talent and driving rhythms helped shape the sound of a generation. Preston was best known as the original drummer for the Cult, where he played a pivotal role in crafting their breakout hit, She Sells Sanctuary. His drumming wasn't just part of the song, it was its foundation, an energetic force that brought the track to life. The anthem became a cornerstone of the 1980s gothic rock and post-punk scenes, solidifying Preston's place in music history. But his personal struggles overshadowed his talent. Nigel's issues with substance abuse and interpersonal conflicts eventually led to his departure from the Cult. Tragically, his life spiraled further. And on April 1st, 1992, Nigel Preston passed away at just 28 years old, reportedly due to complications from drug addiction. It was a heartbreaking loss for a musician whose potential seemed boundless. Despite his untimely death, Nigel Preston's contributions remain etched in the annals of rock history. But his story is only one of many. Next, we'll explore the life of an artist whose virtuosity with the guitar earned him a place among legends, only for his story to take a shocking turn. Stay tuned for the tale of Clarence White. What makes a guitarist truly legendary? For Clarence White, it was his groundbreaking ability to blend bluegrass precision with the soul of rock music. His influence extended far beyond his years, and his story remains as poignant as his melodies. Clarence White first rose to fame with the Kentucky Colonels, where his flat-picking guitar style redefined bluegrass. But it was his work with the Byrds that cemented his place in rock history. Albums like Sweetheart of the Rodeo showcased his pioneering use of the B-bender guitar, a tool he helped develop, which created a pedal steel sound on a standard guitar. This innovation would inspire countless musicians across genres. Tragically, White's life was cut short in a senseless accident. On July 14, 1973, while loading equipment after a performance, he was struck by a drunk driver and killed at just 29 years old. The music world lost not just a virtuoso, but an innovator who had so much more to give. White's legacy is a testament to how a single artist can reshape the way we think about music. But the story doesn't end here. On the next one, we'll journey into the life of a glam rock icon whose star burned brightly before a fateful twist changed everything. Stay tuned for the captivating tale of Mark Bolan. What does it mean to embody the spirit of glam rock? For Mark Bolan, it was about creating music that was flamboyant, electric, and timeless. As the frontman of T-Rex, Bolan wasn't just a musician. He was a cultural icon who defined an entire era. Mark Bolan first captured hearts with his distinctive voice and poetic lyrics. Hits like Get It On and Children of the Revolution made him a superstar, turning T-Rex into one of the defining acts of the glam rock movement. His charismatic stage presence, glittering outfits, and infectious energy left audiences spellbound, earning him a reputation as the godfather of glam. But Bolan's life ended tragically just as it seemed he was on the verge of yet another reinvention. On September 16, 1977, at just 29 years old, Mark Bolan was killed in a car crash in Barnes, London. The Mini, he was a passenger and struck a tree, a devastating accident that silenced one of rock's most unique voices. Though gone too soon, Bolan's legacy lives on in every glitter-drenched performance and in the glam rock movement he helped pioneer. Next, we'll turn to the story of a musician whose soulful sound captivated the world, but whose life ended in heartbreak. Get ready for the story of Brian Cole.
Now my empty cup is as sweet as a punch.
How do you capture the essence of a musician whose voice helped define a generation? Brian Cole, a founding member of the association, was known for his rich bass vocals and contributions to one of the most harmonious bands of the 1960s. The association burst onto the scene with hits like Cherish and Windy, delivering intricate vocal harmonies that resonated with audiences worldwide. Cole's deep voice provided the foundation for their lush sound, a key ingredient in their success. Beyond his role as a vocalist, he played bass guitar, contributing to the band's cohesive and timeless style. But Cole's life took a tragic turn. On August 2, 1972, he was found dead in his Los Angeles home from a heroin overdose at just 29 years old. His death was a stark reminder of the era's challenges, as many artists grappled with the pressures of fame and the pitfalls of addiction. Brian Cole's voice continues to echo in the classic hits that defined the 1960s, leaving a legacy of harmony and heart. But our next story moves to the realm of country music, where a legend's life was filled with triumph and turmoil before an untimely and mysterious end. Stay tuned for the compelling story of Hank Williams. What does it mean to be a legend in country music? For Hank Williams, it meant creating songs that touch the heart and soul of America. Songs that still resonate decades after his passing. But his meteoric rise came with a tragic end. Hank Williams was a pioneer of country music, blending heartfelt lyrics with melodies that became instant classics. Hits like Your Cheatin' Heart, I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry, and Hey, Good Lookin' cemented his place as one of the greatest songwriters of all time. His ability to express raw emotion in his music made him a voice for the common man, and his influence is still felt across genres today. But behind the fame was a man battling personal demons. Chronic back pain, substance abuse, and the pressures of stardom weighed heavily on him. On January 1st, 1953, at just 29 years old, Hank Williams died in the back seat of his car en route to a concert. The cause was heart failure, exacerbated by a lethal mix of alcohol and prescription drugs. The loss was devastating, but his music ensured his legacy would endure. Hank Williams was more than a musician. He was a symbol of authenticity and raw emotion. But his story is just one of many. Next, we'll explore the life of a young artist whose promising career was tragically cut short in a plane crash. Stay tuned for the story of Cassie Gaines. What does it mean to live the dream of a rock star, only to see it end in unimaginable tragedy? Cassie Gaines lived that dream as a backup vocalist for one of the most iconic Southern rock bands of all time, Lynyrd Skynyrd. Cassie Gaines was best known for her role in Lynyrd Skynyrd's famed Hunkettes, the trio of backup singers who added soulful harmonies to the band's raw, powerful sound. Her performances on classics like Sweet Home Alabama and Freebird helped elevate the band's live shows to legendary status. Fans adored her charisma and the energy she brought to the stage. But on October 20th, 1977, tragedy struck. Lynyrd Skynyrd's chartered plane ran out of fuel and crashed in a wooded area near Gillsburg, Mississippi. Cassie, only 29 years old, was one of the 6 people who lost their lives, including other band members and crew. The accident left the music world reeling, cutting short the life of a rising star whose contributions to rock music were just beginning to shine. Cassie Gaines' voice remains immortalized in Lynyrd Skynyrd's music, a reminder of her talent and spirit. But her story is intertwined with another, a bandmate whose leadership and iconic voice defined Southern rock. Up next, the unforgettable tale of Ronnie VanZant. Stay tuned. What does it take to lead a band into rock and roll history? For Ronnie VanZant, it meant being the fearless frontman and primary lyricist of Lynyrd Skynyrd, a band whose music became the anthem of Southern rock. Ronnie VanZant was best known for his powerful voice and commanding stage presence. As the lead singer of Lynyrd Skynyrd, he penned unforgettable hits like Sweet Home Alabama and Freebird, songs that captured the essence of Southern pride and rebellion. VanZant's lyrics resonated with fans, offering a blend of storytelling and raw emotion that solidified the band's place in music history. Tragically, his life came to an untimely end. On October 20th, 1977, Lynyrd Skynyrd's chartered plane crashed in Mississippi, killing 6 people including VanZant, backup singer Cassie Gaines, and guitarist Steve Gaines. Ronnie was just 29 years old. The loss devastated fans and marked the end of an era for the band, which disbanded for a decade before regrouping with new members. Ronnie VanZant's legacy is etched into the soul of rock music. His voice, his lyrics, and his leadership continue to inspire generations. Though his life was cut short, the songs he created will live on forever. These young rock stars lived fast, burned bright, and left us with music that will echo through time. Their stories are a bittersweet reminder of the fragility of life and the toll of fame. Which of their legacies resonates most with you? Let us know in the comments below. If you love exploring the stories of those who shaped music history, make sure to subscribe. There's always more to uncover. Until next time, keep their songs in your hearts and their lessons in your minds.